Welcome. In this video, we're delving into the fascinating world of physiological arousal. Let's start by understanding what physiological arousal is and why it's crucial to explore this aspect of human experience. So, grab your curiosity hats, and let's dive in. 1. The autonomic nervous system. First things first, let's get acquainted with the autonomic nervous system. It's like the conductor of our body's orchestra, orchestrating the symphony of physiological responses. We'll explore its divisions, the sympathetic and parasympathetic, and uncover their roles in our arousal levels. The autonomic nervous system, ANS, operates involuntarily, regulating bodily functions like heart rate, digestion, and respiratory rate. The sympathetic division activates the fight or flight response, preparing the body for action. In contrast, the parasympathetic division promotes relaxation and restoration, bringing the body back to a state of balance or homeostasis. Understanding the ANS provides valuable insights into how our bodies respond to various stimuli. 2. The fight or flight response. Ever wonder why we sometimes feel a sudden rush of energy or heightened alertness? It's the famous fight or flight response. We'll journey back in time to understand its evolutionary roots, explore the hormones driving this response, and look at real-life situations where it kicks into action. The fight or flight response, deeply rooted in our evolutionary history, prepares us to confront or flee from threats. Hormones like adrenaline and cortisol surge, increasing heart rate and redirecting energy to essential functions. An example is encountering a wild animal in the ancient savanna. Our bodies would activate this response to enhance chances of survival. In modern times, this response may trigger during stressful situations like job interviews or sudden emergencies. Understanding this mechanism helps us navigate and manage stress in contemporary life. 3. Measuring physiological arousal. How do scientists measure something as elusive as physiological arousal? In this section, we'll delve into the tools and techniques used, from monitoring heart rates to advanced psychophysiological measures. Get ready for a glimpse into the world of biometrics and its applications in research and beyond. Scientists employ various methods to measure physiological arousal, including heart rate monitors, electrodermal activity sensors, and functional magnetic resonance imaging, fMRI. These tools provide real-time data on physiological changes, offering valuable insights into emotional responses and cognitive processes. For instance, researchers may use fMRI to examine brain activity patterns associated with different emotional states, enhancing our understanding of the complex interplay between the mind and body. 4. The link between emotions and physiological arousal. Our emotions and physiological arousal are like dance partners. Let's explore how positive and negative emotions influence our bodily responses. We'll also peek into the impact on cognitive functions and learn some practical strategies for emotional regulation. Positive emotions, such as joy and excitement, often correlate with increased physiological arousal, while negative emotions, like fear and anger, may trigger heightened responses. For example, a thrilling roller coaster ride induces both excitement and an elevated heart rate. Please note that negative emotions, as indicated before, does not mean something unwanted, as many people believe. Negative emotions are as normal as the positive ones. Suppressing or avoiding negative emotions is not healthy. Emotion awareness, acceptance, and regulation is crucial when it comes to any type of emotion. Understanding this link between emotions and arousal aids in emotional intelligence, allowing individuals to navigate their feelings effectively. Cognitive functions, such as memory and attention, are intricately connected to emotional states, influencing our overall well-being. 5. Stress and physiological arousal. Stress, a word we're all too familiar with. In this segment, we'll dissect the connection between stress and physiological arousal. Distinguish between chronic and acute stress, understand their long-term effects on health, and discover effective coping mechanisms and stress reduction techniques. Stress, whether chronic or acute, significantly impacts physiological arousal. Chronic stress, stemming from prolonged challenges, can lead to sustained high arousal levels, potentially affecting health negatively. Acute stress, like facing a tight deadline, triggers immediate physiological responses. Effective coping mechanisms, such as mindfulness meditation or deep breathing exercises, can help regulate arousal and mitigate the adverse effects of stress on both physical and mental well-being. 6. Individual differences in physiological arousal. We're all unique, and so is our physiological arousal. What factors contribute to these individual differences? Join us as we explore how cultural, gender, and personal factors shape our arousal levels and what it means for our personal development. Individual differences in physiological arousal are influenced by diverse factors, including cultural background, gender, and personal experiences. For instance, cultural norms may dictate acceptable emotional expressions, influencing how individuals regulate arousal. Gender differences in arousal response have been observed, with studies suggesting variations in emotional expressiveness. Recognizing and respecting these differences is crucial for fostering understanding and promoting individual well-being. Example: cultural influence on arousal regulation in Japan. In Japan, cultural norms often prioritize harmony, collectivism, and maintaining a sense of group cohesion. In social settings, individuals are encouraged to regulate their emotions to avoid disrupting the group's harmony. This cultural emphasis on emotional restraint can influence how physiological arousal is expressed. For instance, during a formal business meeting, an individual may experience heightened physiological arousal, such as increased heart rate or nervousness. However, cultural norms may guide them to outwardly display a calm and composed demeanor, suppressing overt signs of nervousness. This regulation is not only a personal choice but aligns with broader cultural expectations of emotional control in public spaces. Contrastingly, in a culture that values individual expression and emotional openness, such as some Western societies, individuals might feel more comfortable openly expressing their physiological arousal. In this case, heightened arousal could be communicated through verbal expressions, gestures, or facial displays without the same level of restraint observed in more collectivist cultures. This example highlights how cultural expectations shape the outward expression of physiological arousal, influencing the ways individuals from different cultural backgrounds regulate and communicate their emotional experiences. 7. The role of physiological arousal in performance. Have you heard of the Yerkes-Dodson law? It's time to uncover how physiological arousal plays a pivotal role in performance. Find out the optimal arousal levels for different tasks and learn practical tips on enhancing performance through arousal regulation. The Yerkes-Dodson law highlights the relationship between arousal and performance, suggesting an inverted U-shaped curve. Moderate arousal levels are optimal for performance, while too little or too much arousal can impede it. Consider an athlete before a competition. An optimal level of arousal enhances focus and energy, while excessive anxiety might lead to errors. Learning to modulate arousal levels can be a game changer for individuals aiming to optimize their performance in various tasks, from sports to academic endeavors. 8. Applications in everyday life. Now that we've laid the groundwork, let's apply our understanding of physiological arousal to our daily lives. Recognize arousal in everyday situations, discover its impact on well-being, and leave with actionable tips for managing arousal effectively. Applying our knowledge of physiological arousal to daily life involves recognizing arousal patterns in everyday situations. For instance, understanding how a stressful commute elevates arousal can prompt individuals to incorporate relaxation techniques, like listening to calming music or practicing mindfulness. Recognizing the impact of arousal on well-being empowers individuals to make informed choices, leading to healthier lifestyles and improved overall quality of life. Embracing practical tips for managing arousal, such as regular exercise or maintaining a balanced lifestyle, enhances our ability to navigate the challenges of modern living. Remember, self-awareness is the key to effectively managing physiological arousal and fostering a harmonious mind-body connection. So, that's it for now. We hope you got a ton of value from this video. Subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos. Remember, the exploration doesn't end here. Stay curious, stay engaged, and keep unlocking the mysteries of human experience. Check out this playlist of our top videos about neuropsychology, and we'll see you in the next video.